My name is Lou Gittleman, and I'm the co-director of Center for Urban Education.
We've collaborated in our work with the center. We're running the center for the last 5 years, and a large part of our work has been in New York City with the Office of Multiple Pathway to Graduations, transfer high schools. The Framework for Effective Instruction is a model that we've put together based on the best research in the field. I would say what's unique about the model is that it does integrate research from a lot of different areas. And it's very hard to find that in the field of education right now. 3 legs, which is how does a teacher deliver the work, which is what you've talked about, launching a lesson, investigating the information, and synthesizing. How do you do that? What are the steps? What are the procedures? What will engage the students? The second piece is these learning strategies. How will they make meaning of the information that's being co-created, dispensed upon them sometimes, given books? And then what kind of rigor are we asking students to do? Bloom's taxonomy. Where are my objectives? Are they always asking kids just to remember information? That would be the legs. And then the glue that tie that piece together is this metacognitive piece. Are you as a teacher thinking about your thinking so that you can actually model all the steps that go into compare and contrast and not skip any because it's all working, and getting students to reflect on it? It's actually not anything different than many of you probably are shaking your head saying, yeah, that makes sense. The model that we use is very intensive. Typically a coach works on site in a school for between 20 and 30 days over a course of a year, which comes out to be almost weekly, sometimes 3 times a month. And in addition to that, OMPG has created a way for there to be 8 trainings during the course of the year on Saturdays where people from all of the schools involved in the project can come together and learn from each other.
The scope of work we do in New York is 12 transfer schools. And we have 5 coaches and someone who's a coach facilitates our work around collecting data. The Saturday trainings in many ways are the cement of our PD, in the sense that there's a place where we know that all the coaches and all the teachers are working on the same thing. There are always individual needs at every school, but there are big ticket items that need to be addressed.
It's nice to talk with other people who are in the same situation that you're in and see that a lot of times we're all struggling with the same things. And like most of it is about collaboration and getting really good feedback, because I feel like the coaches are really great at focusing what the real issue is and helping you sort of identify what your struggle is, because sometimes it can be pretty overwhelming when you have all these different parts and you want to be good at every bit of it. So helping you focus on individual parts and then having a chance to practice with each other and work through it. It's sort of what we want the kids to do, is like have a chance to practice the skill and get better at it and have some feedback and guide you through it. So it's the same idea.
The Framework for Effective Instruction works as a school-wide model because it's essentially focusing on good practice for teaching and good learning for students. We found that they need to go from their English class to their social studies class to their science class to their math class and be asked again and again and again in a really supportive way to do that thinking. We have had some real success working in transfer schools and also in charter schools with similar populations at really trying to debunk the myth that these are students who cannot achieve at high levels. We've developed a model, we've tried to develop a model where we really provide teachers with the support across all disciplines that they need to really get to this vision where a student actually could write an amazing essay or develop their own lab experiment or take a calculus class.
If I was reading this about 2 months ago, I really wouldn't know what they were talking about.
And so what are you doing now that's different in your head? Tell us what's going on in your head.
Now in my head, I'm relating to what I would have been doing in that situation. I'm actually looking at the bigger picture. I'm not just looking at what I'm supposed to read.
I know for me as a teacher, I'm sure we all could share experiences where you get that moment where, oh my God, like this child got it. And you see the look on their face. Everybody wants to cry, you got the chills. And the only way to do that is with a craft that we need to develop.
Oftentimes, a common initial reaction of teachers to doing this work, especially toward making their classrooms more student-centered, is that these kids are going to struggle a lot with that. There are classroom management issues, there are sometimes behavior issues, and it's a tough transition for a lot of these kids from their old schools into this sort of new environment where they're being asked to work in different ways and think in different ways and sort of view school and view teachers in different ways. So I think it's important that the FEI work is being done within this network of transfer schools, because there's essentially, this is being done for them and with them, and when they see the successes, they can share those successes with their colleagues, so that this culture of these kids can do it and they can do it in these schools and you can do it in your classroom sort of grows and grows, I think, with every month that we're working on this.
When I first started, I've had some teaching experience, and I was in a graduate program before that, so I've had all the pieces in different places, but this is the first time that I saw it all kind of come together in a way that really made sense. So I think my teaching improved tremendously last year, by the end of last year.
How? Like, what are some
My planning was better. It was more structured and focusing on the learning strategies. I noticed when I didn't use the learning strategies, and when I did, like my students, like their grasp of the material was so much better, and they retained it for a lot longer.